Hello, beautiful people. How are you guys doing? I am here to talk to you about it is Tuesday tea time. And for those who've been following me for these Tuesdays, as you know, Tuesday tea time is about telling you the truth, giving you a truth, empowerment, and action statement. And remember, there's three types of truths. There's your truth, my truth, and the truth. So I'm not trying to change your mind about anything. I just want to show you a different perspective on it and see what you think and give you some action steps that you can possibly take. So, as always, I like to read the poem. And the poem again is Letting Go Takes Love. And after that, we'll start doing tea time. Alrighty. Letting go takes love. To let go does not mean to stop caring. It means I can't do it for someone else. To let go is not to cut myself off. It's the realization I can't control another. To let go is not to enable, but to allow learning from natural consequences. To let go is to admit powerlessness, which means the outcome is not in my hands. To let go is not to try to change or blame another. It is to make the most of myself. To let go is not to care for, but to care about. To let go is not to try to fix, but to be supportive. To let go is not to judge, but to allow another to be a human being. To let go is not to be in the middle arranging all the outcomes, but to allow others to affect their destinies. To let go is not to be protective. It permits another to face reality. To let go is not to deny, but to accept. To let go is not to nag, scold, or argue, but instead to search out my own shortcomings. To let go is not to adjust everything to my desires, but to take each day as it comes and cherish myself in it. To let go is not to criticize or regulate anybody, but to try to become what I dream I can be. To let go is not to regret the past, but to grow and live for the future. To let go is to fear less and to love more. To let go and to let God is to find peace. Remember, the time of love is short. And I love, and here I go. Anyway, I digress. Let's go get started. So as you know, the truth is to let go is not to try to change or blame another. And the empowerment statement is I must make the most of myself. So a lot of times what happens is if our cup is empty, if we're not where we want to be, if we're not loving ourselves enough, then we'll start trying to change other people into what we need them to do to fulfill that void. Or then we'll blame others for not feeling fulfilled. And the truth is, it's your responsibility to make yourself happy. Everyone else that comes to the table with you, of course, they will take withdrawals just like you with them. But the point is, it is not anyone else's responsibility to make you happy. They deposit, yes, they add to your happiness, but it's not their responsibility. So if you come from a place of knowing that, okay, I'm blaming them for something that I haven't even thought about myself. And sometimes what we don't do is we don't take responsibility for the role we played in a relationship. So the action steps I want to do, I'm going to give you 3 to think about. And the first one is forgiveness for yourself and for them. Because a lot of times we hold on to things and we don't want to take the our role in it too, because it takes 2. Sometimes it takes a little bit more if you let other people in your business, but it's usually you and someone else. And there was a role that you played. If there's nothing more than allowing it to be, because you have to set your boundaries. So with the forgiveness, first and foremost, why you forgive. And people say, well, I'm not going to forget. You're not supposed to forget. It's not about that. Forgiveness is for you. It liberates you. It liberates you from your past and your present so you can move into your future. It frees you up from emotional burdens and guilt. It releases you from hate and bitterness. And with that, you get better health. Because if you don't, what happens is your body is constantly with anger, is constantly in the fight and flight mode. What happens is your blood pressure goes up, your heart rate goes up, and also sometimes you do a lot of sneezing or coughing because your immune system is trying to get rid of something. So then you end up probably being depressed. You end up with heart disease and maybe with diabetes and then depression. So if you understand that forgiveness is for you, it's for even for your health, if you just let go of stuff. And then also it's you have better relationships because you've dumped the baggage that you had. You're not bringing that into the relationship. So forgiveness is about liberation, freeing yourself, releasing yourself, better health, and better relationships. And the second thing is thinking about the emotions. You have to be able to be at a point that you're able to control and deal with your emotions. They're not going anywhere. You can suppress them all day long and become depressed, but you have to start dealing with your emotions. And they're basically emotions that you interchange that make things different. As far as recognizing where you are, if you're angry, why are you angry? Because it didn't go the way you thought it was going to be. I'm going to give you the 8. It's anger, anticipation, joy, trust, fear, surprise, sadness, and disgust. So with anger, it didn't work out the way you wanted it to. It's different than when you thought it was going to be. Anticipation was something you weren't expecting, but you're excited about it. Joy is something that you want to keep. So how can you figure out how to keep that? Trust, that's something that you have a connection with someone else, because you don't trust unless you have that connection. Fear, what are you afraid of losing? Surprise, something really unexpected. Now, are you going to plan to do something else with that? Sadness, that means that you miss something. Something is just not, you're losing something that's very important to you. Disgust, when you disgust, means it went against your values or your beliefs or your experience. So when you find yourself being disgusted by something, it's usually something going against your values, and you're like, I don't like the way this one feels. This really doesn't make sense to me. So the first thing again is forgiveness, and then you got to start thinking about your emotions. You want to be able to be in a place that you are able to control them and be able to deal with them and recognize them, so you can get through whatever you're going through, so you can love yourself more. And then the last thing is gratitude. And gratitude is nothing more than your response to a need that you feel that you want. That's all. You find gratitude in things that respond to your needs. So start looking for those things in your life that you're grateful for, that really makes you feel like, okay, I'm blessed today. And remember those when you're going through all this. So those are the 3 things. You want to forgive. Remember, forgiveness is to liberate you, free you, release you, better health, better relationships. And then your emotions, 8 emotions, the basic emotions. Where are you coming from? Why are you feeling this way? Are you anger? Is there anger? Is there anticipation? Is it joy? Is it trust, fear, surprise, sadness, or disgust? And then, of course, having gratitude. So just look at what you're doing and then ask yourself, what have you been dreaming of but you haven't done? What have you been dreaming of but you haven't done? Because to make the most of myself, I have to know what I really want. And if you're trying to change someone to give you something or blame them, then you're missing something. So again, this is Donnie. It's Tuesday tea time. I'll see you next Tuesday. And remember, to let go is not to change or blame another. It's to make the most of myself. And I will see you next week. And in the meantime, again, try to find a place to be still and just listen, because all the answers are in the silence. Many blessings. I'll see you next Tuesday.